Hello everybody! Most of you probably aren't used to seeing the guy behind the videos you watch. I'm Matt, I run the Fortress of Solitude, but I'm just here to give you a little bit of a channel update of sorts. Nothing major, I'm not closing the channel, I'm not monetizing it with Patreon or any of those membership bullshit things. So firstly, if you're new to my channel, thank you for watching this video and having this video be your first. Please consider subscribing. The way we do things here is that I will do a comic book review, a review on a comic issue, and that'll go out, and then a couple of days later I'll have the story breakdown of that issue. And that's where I go through the entire story, you know, in detail, so you get the whole plot. It's how I've always kind of run things on here, and it's worked pretty well, and it's done pretty well, but just the amount of comics that have started to come out is getting quite insane. There's been some weeks where I've had upwards of 12 comics, and there's no way I'm going to be getting to all of them, which is why certain series have just kind of fallen off or haven't been able to get to like the next issue, and it's been a couple of weeks. So this is where things are going to start to sort of change. Now, firstly, the reviews aren't going to change. They're actually going to stay the same, and because of what I'm going to be doing with the story breakdowns, you're probably actually going to get more reviews, which I'm really excited about because that also opens me up to reviewing independent comics, which is what I've really wanted to do. There's some really fucking great independent comics out there at the moment, as well as comics from stuff like Image and Boom that I really want to read and just haven't had the time because the big two comic companies always take up all of my time. So story breakdowns will be changing quite a fair bit. I'll no longer be doing single issue story breakdowns. Instead, they're going to be what I am starting to call arc breakdowns. So take for example the Star Wars Ongoing by Charles Soule. Very good series, I highly recommend it. Currently they're doing a Trial of Lando Calrissian storyline, and they're right in the middle of it. Instead of doing a story breakdown for each issue, I'm just going to do one for the entire arc. That way you get the entire story, I get a chance to sort of read through the entire story once it's done. I think that'll make everything a little bit more easier. You'll still be getting reviews of each individual issue, it's just those story breakdowns will now be arc breakdowns, and they'll come a little bit later after the story has finished. Because of that, that's also going to free up a lot of my time. So for those who don't know, this channel is my hobby. It's not a full-time job. I actually have a full-time job elsewhere. I come home and do stuff like this in my free time. I do it just really because I love comics. I love comics so much. I want other people to feel that love, and hopefully I can convince people to love comics as much as I do. And hey, if I make a little bit of money through, you know, ads or something, cool, whatever, it just goes back into the channel by paying for more comics for me to review and for you to see. It gives me more free time to do more reviews and expand into independent comics and everything. It also gives me more time to stream. And streaming is something I've really wanted to do, and I did a fair bit of it during the pandemic when, you know, we're all locked inside and everything, but since going back to work and having a job, and it's been a bit hard, especially because I like sleep and I like having sleep and having a regular schedule, I think I'll be able to stream a little bit more frequently, and I'm hoping for at least 1 or 2 times a week now. And I'm going to start as well because obviously we have a new Star Wars video game coming out. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and we've got obviously Star Wars Outlaws coming out in August. So up until that game comes out, I want to stream a bunch of different Star Wars games, and I've already got some sort of preloaded, ready to go, ready to stream. And the first one I want to be streaming is Jedi Survivor. I've got a little Jedi Survivor catch-up video that's going to go out at some point after this update. That'll be sort of like the first part of the stream, and then it will get into more a regular stream and a regular output on streams. So keep an eye out for that. I stream here on YouTube as well as on Twitch, so you can catch me on either of those platforms. And so yeah, that's really it. So just to reiterate what I'm going to be doing, reviews are staying exactly the same. Story breakdowns are kind of going away and becoming arc breakdowns, where I break down a full story arc of a comic. I want to thank you guys for your support. It means a lot to me that you guys would just come and see all my, you know, rantings and ravings in my reviews and whatnot. And feel free to leave any comments you have. If you have any questions regarding any of this, please feel free to leave it under this video, and I'll do my best to answer them as quick as I can. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you click that little button down there if you want to stay up to date with what's going on in the worlds of DC, Marvel, Star Wars, independent comics, and many more comic worlds. So thank you everybody for joining me here, and hopefully I'll see you somewhere else in the Fortress of Solitude.